Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, before we get started, I like to face the east. I like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, the Kwadash. And double honors to those great millstone, while learnt is true. And also to the Ophilet that is scattered abroad. I like to say, shalom. Come back here today with another great and powerful live lesson through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And the type of the live camp today is Great Tribulation is coming. So I like to say shalom to all our listeners and learners. Hope this will help you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So we already know right now that we're coming upon a great tribulation period that we have never seen before. So we already know what's been in the news for the last couple of days. I think it was September the 30th, whereby they had these ICE patrol, also in collaboration with the FBI, I think the DEA, it's all working together, to get these, what they call this immigration crisis under control. But we already know it. We're not ignorant of Satan devices. We're seeing how they came into Chicago in this apartment complex in South Shore, Chicago. We're seeing how that was done, so that's just a test run for what's to come. The devil's getting ready to come down with great wrath. In the middle of the Lord, we constantly been warning you about these pending dangers, that they are right here now. They're at the door. They are here. So one thing about it is that, we're seeing what happened, whereby, they showed no regard to the young or the old, you know what I'm saying? And one thing about it, it's lining up just like clockwork. So we're seeing right now, this man knowing that his time is very short, he's getting ready to roll on the children of Israel. And also, it started with the northern tribe. Now it's spilling over into the southern tribe, just like the Bible said. And one thing about it, when you go to Genesis chapter 49, around verse 8, it said, who shall rouse him up? Talking about Jake. Jake is going to get it popping eventually. So we know that we're very close to these times. These things are right before our eyes. We're here. So these things are coming at a fast pace. Also, we know, and also in the news once again, any given day, they're talking about going into Venezuela. That that they're already building up a big military presence in Venezuela right now. So I don't know. It might be a green light today or maybe tomorrow, but we know that it's very soon. So we're going to constantly measure the time diligently. It's talking about taking this the Venezuela president, which in fact is Maduro. They're trying to take him out of power. So what they talking about, trying to unalive him, and we already know what this is all about. It start with a 3-letter word. Oil. That's what they do. Goes in other people countries steady robbing and stealing, because thou hast spoiled many nations, thou shalt be spoiled also. So that we coming upon this time. Also, we seeing that now that we at the end of a earth age. We seeing that this place is slowly fading away. We seeing that the vibration is changing. A lot of people right now are waxing colder and colder. We seeing right now the love of many is waxing colder and colder. And also we seeing that the spirit of vision is is rampant right now. So we seeing that the Lord's constantly bringing forth judgment. Also we know about World War III, the last and final war before the great and glorious return of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. It's fast approaching. It is at the door. So we seeing right now this red devil is getting ready to roll on us. A lot of our people out here, still, talking about birthdays, talking about celebrating, getting ready for the holidays and different things. Hey, one thing about it, the way it's looking, you might not even make it to a damn holiday. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about it, we don't even give a damn about no pagan holidays nowhere. But one thing about all we're focused on right now is getting the hell up out of here. We're fleeing out of Babylon. How do you flee out of Babylon? Spiritually, there's this mindset, this wisdom, this knowledge that shall sustain you in times of trouble. So when you go to that's Micah, I think it's 2:10 if I'm not mistaken. Micah 2:10, I think that's the verse. But one thing about it, a lot of our people are very comfortable here. A lot of people right now is going to be off, they're going to be thrown off their off guard when all these things start happening, just like in that Chicago apartment complex. He was taking people, they were relaxing in their leaves. This lady, she was said she was taking a little walk, and she was in her nightgown, and they snatched her up also. They said they will be released if they don't have any warrants, but they saying they was coming for these what you call this Venezuela gang trendy Wagwa. They was coming for them, but we already know that what this is all about. They get ready to come for people of color, which in fact the northern tribe and also the southern tribe, and everybody's called Jacob's trouble. Jacob's trouble is at the door. That's what we constantly warn you about. So tribulation is near. It's going to be a time of trouble that we have never seen before. So I have a few videos I'll probably bring out. Then also we're going to go through the spirit and see where it goes, But we're seeing right now that these things are right upon us. And also we know that we're very right upon a great economic collapse. And also we know about the government shutdown, So we're seeing that the government is shut down right now. Everything right now looking kind of quiet right now. But just like I said, the quiet before the storm or the calm before the storm. All hell is getting ready to break loose. That's what we constantly warn you about. They constantly are sending these military troops in these cities across America. We're seeing it. Also, we're seeing that in different parts of the world it's on fire right now. What, France? What's this other place? The UK. It's a lot of people in an uproar. And also about these refineries. A lot of these refineries are exploding right now. So we're seeing this order out of chaos left and right. It's one thing behind another. He's getting ready to bring it forth, because he's seeing that his time is very short. So we know that we're here, we're measuring the time very diligently. We're seeing the signs of the times. Like, we're very excited. A lot of people right now are still, thinking that they have time. But we have run out of time. We're in a transition of power, and it's playing out right before our eyes. Also, we're constantly seeing the men of the Lord out here in the highways and byways, also making these video pistols left and right, warning you, because it's coming upon the time where the famine of the word is fast approaching. It is fast approaching, whereby you won't be able to have an opportunity to go and turn on your flat screen TV or go to your device and look up YouTube, because that is about, we already know that they get ready to shut down this internet very soon. Well, they have whereby you gonna have to be under their subjection. That under your skin. So one thing about, we know that we're coming upon this time. A digital society. They're talking about these digital IDs. You already know what happened in UK. So these things are happening right before our eyes. Telling people that if they don't get the digital ID, they were saying that they would not be able to work or pretty much do anything. So now it's in the uproar that people are bucking up against the government. It's lining up with what? 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 15. They shall not regard their kings or princes. I think that's 16. But just like I say, we're here, And we're going to get that in a minute too. So these things are rolling out right before our, things are happening at a fast pace. And one thing about, we knowing that we're living in the end time. We're witnessing right before our eyes. The Lord already told us in Matthew chapter 24, he gave us a guideline, what to look for before his second coming. So we see it right now. The Lord's getting very close to coming. Also, I seen a video, a lady said that, she was the type of woman that always like watching that 3-eye atlas. Those videos that they be having out about. They said now she go to the site now that they didn't close the whole site out, NASA. So they're giving people like a blackout there. They don't want you to see what's getting ready to come. But we already know we're not ignorant of Satan's device, his mindset. We know it right now. When you go to Job chapter 20, around 22 or 23, it tells you about he's getting ready to fill his belly, his enterprise. His evil plot, which in fact is this new world order. So he won't totally control and make you a perpetual slave to put it under your skin. And a lot of people are going to be in compliance because they want to constantly have a sense of normalcy. So a lot of people, when they run out of food, when they run out of resources, they're going to run straight to, Esau, Edom. That modern day Pharaoh. You're going to be totally destroyed. And that's what we constantly warning you about, left and right. This here is at the door. So we'll start here first, because the devil's getting ready to come down with great wrath. We're going to get two precepts, then I got a quick video we're going to show about this Venezuela. They at war. We're going to get a little of that clip, a couple of little clips, that I'm going to bring out, because we got to use all this, what we have at hand. The Lord set up the internet. He set up all this technology, so pretty much now we're seeing that the internet is doing all the heavy lifting for the men of the Lord. And one thing about it, that, if it's high time to prophesy. Our salvation is at the door. You see something, say something. The Lord ain't dealing with men that are afraid, are scared to speak out, effeminate, weak, and afraid. You are going to be totally destroyed. The Lord is dealing with the austere men. Of Yahweh Ba'ashim Shai, the men of the Lord. The 144. And everybody, the Lord's getting ready to activate his army on the ground. Amen. We cannot wait. We know that great tribulation is coming, but the Lord said, what he shall be saved out of? Who? Jacob. What the elect. But we know as We know that Israel, all Israel will be saved, but for right now, we know that the election that the Lord he's going to return, it's that 1/3 remnant that stayed loyal to him over 2,000 years. That's who he's coming back for first. And one thing about it, they'll get it on the other side. So that's a whole nother lesson also. That's the way the Spirit is rolling. Revelation chapter 12, let's start here. Let me see, make sure I'm rolling. I'm thinking I'm rolling. If someone on the comment board or whatever like that, give me a thumbs up. But we see it right here. It says Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12. It says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. So woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knowing that his time is very short. It says here, it said therefore rejoice ye heavens. It's talking about Israel. He said that dwell in them. Let's read that once again. Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12 says, therefore rejoice ye heaven, talking about Israel, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea. It's talking about the people. The devil is come down unto you, having great wrath. So when you go into that word, devil goes into diabolos. It means it's saying that he's a false accuser, a slanderous person, a person that is, come with a lot of lies and deceits and deception. And that about we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, talking about the modern day Esau, Edom, you know what I'm saying? The so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. We're here, man. And it says here, it says that the devil is getting ready to come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knowing that he has a short time. So he knowing that he has a very short time to pull off, this war in heaven, this space war. We already know how that is going to end for him. The Lord's getting ready, and take this man out of rulership. We cannot wait, we're upon that time, man, this fast is approaching. So he's seeing that now that, that the prophets out here speaking, about him, the Lord is making what Esau barren. And also we know that right now that, the Lord already, what is it, Isaiah chapter 47, sit now down and get thee in the dust. And we're going to get there in a minute. But anyway, we're seeing right here that they come with this ICE patrol. They keep talking about these illegal immigration, but that's what the plan from the start. So we already seeing that what happened. We already know that Biden just let them all come in here. That was a part of the plan. Now all of a sudden now that Trump is saying that he's going to get them all out, to make our country safe again. Saying about these drug cartels, telling you about, we got to get them out. They bringing in these illegal, so-called illegal drugs and different things like that. But we already know who's the biggest drug dealer on the planet is Esau, Edom. And one thing about it is that we seeing right now that he's getting ready to roll out his plan. He's getting very desperate. He's seeing right now the signs of the time right before is upon him. He's seeing what's going on out there, this 3-eye atlas. So now all of a sudden that NASA stopped showing their footage, So because they see it, that he's seeing that what his days is determined. So let's get this one here. Let's go here to Jeremiah. No, let's go here to Job. Let's get this one in Job right quick. Because right now he getting ready to fill his belly. We seeing it right now. We're gonna start up at the top. We're gonna get a little certain parts of it. Let's go here first. Job chapter 5. Job chapter 20 and verse 5 said that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite is but for a moment. So right now we already know that his time is very short. The joy of the hypocrite, is very, very short. The joy of the wicked is very short. So we see it right now that he's moving in warp speed, to bring forth this new agenda, this new digital society, to make you a petrol slave. You will not be able to buy or sell, will not be able to work, will not be able to do a damn thing if you do not take it under the skin. So one thing about it is that we know that the hour of temptation is fast approaching. We know that Jacob's trouble is at the door. But one thing about it, we're going to constantly trust and believe in Yahweh about Shimmy Yahweh Shah. Let's read this once again. So, his time is very short. Let's read it again. It says here, Job chapter 20 and verse 5 says that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. Verse 6 says, though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reaches into the clouds. Verse 7 said, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, Where is he? So it's going to come a time, a point whereby this man is not going to be thought of anymore. You know, the Lord's going to chase him out of the world. You know, so this man is getting ready to have no name in the street. This man is getting ready to go back to his original state. And everybody, you know what I'm saying, you know, right now he's walking great pride right now. But the Lord's getting ready to come up and get ready to show him that who he really is. You know, you just a slave. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, the Lord's getting ready to do a mighty work. Let's go here. Verse 8, it said, he shall fly away as a dream and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision in the night. Verse 9 said, the eyes also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place anymore behold him. Let's read that once again. Job chapter 20 verse 9 said, the eyes also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place anymore behold him. Verse 10 said, his children shall seek to please the poor, and his hands shall restore their goods. Verse 11 said, his bones are full of sin of his youth, which shall lie down with him in the dust. Said, though wickedness be sweet in his mouth, though he hide it under his tongues. You know, we already know that he got that with that fourth tongue. You come with all these lies and deceits. We're here to help you. We get ready to make America great again. We're trying to make it safer. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're doing right now. But we already know that those are lies and deceit. We already know that war is in his heart. Verse 13, it said, though he spare it and forsake it not, but keep it still within his mouth. Said verse 14 said, yet his meat in his bowels is turned. Said it is the gall of apes within him. Verse 15 said, here's the point right here. Said he has swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again. The Almighty shall cast them out of his belly. So that's where we at right now. We see it right now that, you know what I'm saying, he has swallowed down what? Many great riches, but he's getting ready to vomit them back up again. So when you go to Ecclesiastes chapter 10, I think it's around verse 8, you know what I'm saying? You know, we're in that what riches got by the seats, you know what I'm saying? And you know that the kingdom is getting ready to be translated to another people, which in fact is what? Israel. We'll get that in a minute. So we see it right now that we're in that transition to power. The Lord is getting ready to put us back in our first estate. You know, the one that was last is getting ready to be first, and the one that is first is getting ready to be last. So let's get to this last little part, then we'll get that the back up about he swallowed down many riches. We're in that transition to power. Let's see here. It said Job chapter 20 and verse 22. It said in the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits. Say every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. You know what I'm saying? Exactly what we seeing right now. And all these people that really was allies with America, we seeing right now. They're constantly turning their back on America. You know, they constantly being allies with their enemies, which in fact Russia and China. Venezuela also is one of their adversaries. So we see it right now that also at some point NATO is going to turn on this wicked whore. You know what I'm saying? So we seeing right now that every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. You know, that labor with him, that did business with him. We put it like that. Verse 23 said, and when he is about to fill his belly, said the Almighty shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So right now, so you're in that word that belly goes into this man's mindset, goes into his agenda, his plan, his plot. We already know he's trying to come with this new digital infrastructure. We know that he's trying to come with total control, constantly taking your white rights away from you left and right. You know what I'm saying? And out of the Bible, we already knowing that, he's getting ready to come with that digital oil, that grain of rice. You know what I'm saying? It shall go into your right hand or into your forehead. That's where we at right now. But the Lord said here, he said, while he is eating, while he is setting it up, you know what I'm saying? The Lord said, he shall rain, said the fury of his wrath upon him. Let's read it from the beginning again. Said Job chapter 20, verse 23 said, when he is about to fill his belly, his agenda, his plan, his plot, said the Almighty shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So the Lord is getting ready to return, in that fathership. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is getting ready to rain down those IBCM missiles, also that lazy and chariot fire. you know what I'm saying, that's getting ready, that indignation of Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua. So we know that we're very close. These things are coming upon us at a fast pace. It's going to be a time of trouble that we've never seen before. Let's get this one more, and we're going to show a video. Jeremiah chapter, because this is where we at right here. Jeremiah chapter 30. We'll start up at verse 5. Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 5. Make sure I'm still running. I'm still running, yeah. And we seeing, man, that, man, these things are very close here. Let's go here. Let's start here. Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 5 said, "For thus said the Lord, said, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace." Verse 6 said, "Ask ye now, and see whether a man doeth travail with child. Said, wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins? Say, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned unto paleness." So we coming upon that time, a time of trouble that we've never seen before. Verse 7, it says here, "At last, for that day is great, so that none is like it." It said, "It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of." So that time is going to be so great. When you go to Daniel chapter 12 and verse 1, Archangel Michael is going to have to stand up for the children of Israel. And out about it, we already know that Jacob is the progenitor of the 12 tribes of Israel. We know his name was later changed to Israel, you know, representing the 12 tribes. And out about it, that we will be the most in trouble. And out about, we know that the whole world will be in trouble. But you know what I'm saying? But it says here, when you go to read a little bit more, it said, "But he shall be saved out of it." You know what I'm saying? It's talking about the 1/3 remnant, the elect, the true believers of Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, the house of David. And that about we knowing that all Israel will be saved. But at this particular time, when the Lord returns, the Lord is only coming back for that remnant, which in fact is the 1/3 elect. You know what I'm saying? 2 parts therein is getting ready to be cut off and die. So we know that we're here. Let's read that once again. It says here, "At last, for that day is great, so that none is like it." It said, "It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." So one thing about it, that's why we constantly trusting and believing in Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua. We know that the Lord is going to provide for. We know that the Lord is coming to deliver us with great glory and great power. All we must do is constantly, you know what I'm saying, wait on him. Be patient, you know, be humble. You know, ask the Lord to have mercy upon us. Ask the Lord to camp the angels around. But we're seeing right now this man is getting ready to use his sword in a big way. We know right now that he's getting ready, you know what I'm saying, he's seeing right now that he's running out of time, so he's getting ready to resort to that sword. That's all he ever know, you know what I'm saying? Since thou hast not hated blood, blood shall pursue thee. So we coming upon that time. These things are happening at a fast pace. That's why the men of the Lord, we constantly warning you left and right. In that day, they shall know that a prophet was among you. Shalom. Shalom to GMS glorious in his apparel. Shalom. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about it, man, we see it, man. These things are right here before I got to read this once again, because this is where we at. Jacob's trouble is here. You know what I'm saying? So we see what's going on in Chicago. You know, a lot of people right now, oh, they just, it's going to be all right. Everything going to smooth. That's nothing going to smooth out. This man is constantly turning this place into a police state. And also he's turning the military. He's getting ready to turn the military, the ones that are going to agree to that. Some of them is going to buck up against that. We seeing right now that they're turning against the U.S. citizens. And also we know that these, what you call these poor white trash Edomites, they're going to get in the mix too. He ain't giving a damn about them either. So we getting ready to come upon some turbulent times, man. We seeing that we're here, man. Let's get this one right quick. Let's go here to Matthews. Let's go to Matthew, because the Lord, he got to accelerate the time for the elect's sake, man, because these things right here are right before our eyes. Let's start here. We'll start here first at verse 6. That's why we're going to get the whole deal. I was going to go straight to the point, but we'll get a little bit more, because this is where we at, man. It says here, Matthew chapter 24 and verse 6 said, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of war. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." Let me start back. That's where I want to be at. Yeah, rumors of war. So like I want to read a little bit further up, but we'll start that again. We'll start right here again. It says here, Matthew chapter 24 and verse 6 said, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of war. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come come to pass, but the end is not yet. So right now we're seeing that these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. We're seeing these rumors of war all over the place. All we're talking about Venezuela, going into Venezuela any given day. Also, it's talking about that Israel is getting ready to attack Iran. Also, it's rumors of what? China and Taiwan once again. Also, between Russia and NATO. A lot of things are happening around the world as we speak. And also, we know that what's going on in Burkina Faso between, what's his name, Abraham Traore. You know, he's going through a lot of things with Esau too also. So it's a lot of uproars. You know what I'm saying? We're seeing that what the heathens are raging, but the end is not yet. So rumors of wars are all over the place. And also we know that things that go nuclear at any given time. That's why we always got to be watching, praying without ceasing, because we're living in these times, real time. Let's go here. If I ever get this phone egg right, might open up my Bible. I got my Bible for backup if you keep clowning them. It says here, Matthew chapter 24 and verse 7 said, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. So right here, I think it was 3 earthquakes was in, and I think it was in California. I think earlier part of the day, you know, they keep saying that, you know, the big one is going to come to California. But we know that these things is going to happen, you know, California, Japan, different parts of the world. You know, every day is some type of earthquake activity is going on. Also, we know about these volcanic, you know, activity. You know what I'm saying? Volcanoes are constantly erupting across the world, also under the sea. So, you know, the Lord is, you know, is constantly calling these things to happen. And also it says here, pestilence, you know, these pestilence, which in fact, you know, disease, these outbreaks that we constantly been hearing about left and right. You know, outbreak over here talking about this, the C19 is constantly increased. Tell you about these STDs. Tell you about the listeria virus. There's so many viruses that they got out right now. You know, a lot of people are constantly sleeping, and these things are constantly increasing. Also, famine. We already know that, you know, if this economy collapse, we already know that's going to be an instant famine. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be food shortage, rolling blackout. You know what I'm saying? Going to be a lot of homelessness, a lot of death and destruction. So that's what we're coming upon right now. We're seeing it right before our eyes. So these earthquakes in diverse places, pretty much an earthquake is pretty much happening every day. You know, so a lot of people, you know, they still are going on with their daily life, and this earth is constantly changing right before their eye. And also we're seeing that we're getting very, very close to all hell breaking loose. And it says here, it says all these are the beginning of sorrow. So we're at the beginning of sorrow, the birth pain. You know what I'm saying? They're constantly seeing it left and right. Things are constantly increasing. Things are constantly happening around the world, left and right. You know what I'm saying? Every time you look around, this is happening over here, that is happening over there. Lord said these things would happen. You know what I'm saying? When you go to 2 Amos chapter 8 and verse 50, it said, many great misery will befall them because they walked in great pride. So a lot of our people right now are very prideful. A lot of our people are very sinful. You know what I'm saying? Very wicked. And the Lord's getting ready to destroy them. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't want to repent. You know what I'm saying? They hate the good and love evil. You know what I'm saying? They quick to do some wickedness. You know, that's what they love each and every day. And the men of the Lord, we constantly warning you. But see, all the games about to be over. So we're seeing right now that the war drums are constantly beating. We're seeing that now they get ready to go into Venezuela. Let's get this little a video clip. I got a little video clip I'm going to show right quick, if I can get it to show. And we're going to show a couple of more too, then we're going to close out. It says right here, let's get this one. Hold on one moment. I got the volume turned down. One moment. And just like I say, man, these things are right here, but they're right before our eye. You still thinking that this is a game, but all the game's about to be over. Let's play this one right quick. This man is talking about this Venezuela, America getting ready to prepare to go into Venezuela.
The United States and Venezuela are potentially days away from a war. That's what we've been hearing over the past 24 hours. But it has more to do with here in the United States than just over in Venezuela or in international waters. But look at this right here. It says U.S. War Department weighs possible strikes in Venezuela after attacks on suspected drug boats. That's what we learned several days ago. But now it's actually getting more intense. I want to show you something else. says President Trump declares U.S. in armed conflict with drug cartels in the Caribbean. That was just announced today. President Trump is serious about what has been happening. He wants to eliminate the drug threat coming in from Venezuela into the United States. But it's actually bigger than just the drugs, because it actually has to do with a Venezuelan gang, a prison gang called Tren de Aragua. They've been in the United States for several years, and they've made themselves at home in cities like Chicago.
And we'll stop it right there, but we already know it's not about Tren de Aragua. It's not about them. It's about them going into that country, trying to rob this man of his resources, set up this puppet government. We're not ignorant of Satan's device, but they're using that as a cover, to get this man into line. If we don't get in line, they'll go there and take him out of power and put this puppet government in there. So let's go here right quick. So once again, the men of the Lord, we're not ignorant of Satan's device. Let's go here first. Let's go here to Habakkuk. Let's get a little bit on there. This man here, he's a very proud man. He's not a keeper at home. So we seeing right now this man all down here in Venezuela messing with this man. Getting ready to attack this man. Getting ready to what? To unalive this president. Talking about his reign of terror. He got this man. They demonized this man. Saying that this man is a the T word. We can't say that. You know what I'm saying? So we're here. Let's go here to Habakkuk. Let's get this right quick. Habakkuk. Let's see here. Habakkuk chapter 2. Habakkuk chapter 2, because this man right here, he's not a keeper at home. This man here is the harbinger of death. He's everywhere. This man is going in people, countries left and right. We already seen what's going on down there with Burkina Faso, down there with Abraham Traore. This man is having to fight for his life. And then, I wouldn't be surprised if they unalive this man. I think Israel already sent these Islamic missionaries into this man's country, telling this man to step down, because he still want these resources out of Africa. These African nations been holding up a lot of these European nations, which in fact one of them is France. You know what I'm saying? What's the other one? Israel is another one of them too. So we seeing right now that these people are getting sick and tired of Israel, and also they're getting sick and tired of America. You know what I'm saying? We already know that the Lord is calling these things to happen. And one thing about it, we already know this man is getting ready to be dealt with. Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 5 says, yea, also because he transgresses by wine his philosophies, said he is a proud man. Esau Edom said, neither keepers at home, who enlarges his desire as hell and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations, and heapers unto him all people. So right now we seeing this man, he's very proud. He's talking great words. Also, he's saying this damn wicked red devil Stephen Miller, talking about what he's getting ready to do. He's gonna fight the crowd. We're gonna get rid of these gang members, but all the time they are targeting the people of color. And also, we already know it's about Venezuela. They going out here picking on a little country like Venezuela. Even though we know that I think they're the number one a producer. They got the biggest production of oil down there in Venezuela. So we already know what this is all about. We already know if you take this man out of his we already know that he already had asked China and Russia to help him. So at some point, we already know that these things are getting ready to get popping. This man here, his reign of terror is almost over. Let's read this once again. It says, here's Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 5 says, yea, also because he transgresses by wine his philosophies, his philosophy, his something else I want to say, his policies, his democracy. You know what I'm saying? Want to put people under their rule, their way of doing things. But it's not going to work that way. It says that he is a proud man, neither keeper at home, who enlarges his desire as hell and as death. And I about to say, where this man go, death and hell follow him. This man constantly going in people nations constantly robbing, stealing, and killing, and graping, and setting up their own puppet government, to do their bidding. That's that wine, that philosophy. And the nations, had drunk of the wine. Now the nations are angry. Hey man, we're seeing it. right before our eye. Let's get this last little part here. It says here, it said, cannot be satisfied, but gathers to him all nations and heaps unto him all people. So that's exactly what he wants, this new world order. You know what I'm saying? Not about one world currency, one world government. You know what I'm saying? One world religion. But one thing about it, he's in for a rude awakening. Verse 6 said, shall not all these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe unto him that increases, that which is not his. Said how long, and to him that is laden himself with thick clay. And out about, we already know that America is in tremendous debt. When you go into that, thick clay goes into a debt. You know what I'm saying? So right now, this man is in tremendous debt with China and different other nations also. We already know that he's going to bring for a war. You know, that's all he know about, you know, preparing for war. So he knowing right now that at any given time that these nations going to, they're going to buck up. You know what I'm saying? Because right now this man here, which in fact DJ Donald Trump, you know, that cruel law, you know, he want to try to take over the whole world. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about it, he's in for a rude awakening. So right now that this red devil, we're gonna see how this play out, but we already knowing that the end is coming for these Edomites. That's why he's moving the way he's moving. Verse 7 it says, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them. So one thing about it, we already knowing that at some point that America is going to be a booty to these other nations. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be coming to him, robbing and spoiling him. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you shall reap what you sow. Verse 8, it said, because thou hast spoiled many nations, so all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, and the city, and all that dwell therein. So at some point, we already know that they are going to be spoiled. To back that up even a little bit more, not like this one here in Isaiah. And we're seeing right now that, you know, they're getting ready to try to go in and spoil Venezuela. But guess what? You know what I'm saying? We already knowing that at some point that it's not going to work out the way they wanted to work out. Right now, this devil is getting ready to try to fill his belly. All of a sudden now he wants to go into Venezuela. This place is rich in resources, rich in oil. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? This man can't keep his hand off of something that don't belong to him. You know what I'm saying? Also, the Lord is constantly exposing Esau. He's making him barren and barren. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knowing who is causing these problems upon this earth. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we're here, man. It's right before our eyes. Let's get this right here to back up what I just said about, you know, he has spoiled many nations. These nations get ready to deal with his ass very soon. It says here, Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 1 said, it says here at the top, it says, in the blue letter, it said, the judgment of the Lord. It says here, it said, woe to thee that spoilest, and thou wast not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. So when thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled, and when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. So let's get ready to happen right now before our eyes. America is getting ready to get dealt treacherously with Babylon the Great. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about it, you shall reap what you have sown. We are here. So let's read this in the NLT to bring it out a little bit more. What's going on, man? And we're seeing right now that these times are right before our eyes. Whether people will hear or whether they will forbear, we really don't give a damn. Verse Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 1 says, what sorrow awaits you Assyrians? You know, the modern day Assyrians, it's the Americans, said, who have destroyed others, but have never been destroyed. Say yourselves, say you betrayed others, but you have never been betrayed. Say when you are done destroying, you will be destroyed, and when you are done betraying, you will be betrayed. So that's where we at right now. You know what I'm saying? America's getting ready to be betrayed, and America's getting ready to be totally destroyed. Go to Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 1. You know what I'm saying? You know, the Lord is, you know, is against this destroying mountain. The Lord's getting ready, you know, to bring that fire. You know what I'm saying? Before our eyes, the Lord's getting ready to destroy this place. Let's go here to Jeremiah. I quoted, I might well get it. Jeremiah chapter 51. And we'll start at the top at verse 1. It says here, thus said the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind. And out by the destroying wind goes into these IBCM missiles. You know what I'm saying? Also that lazy and chariot fire from Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. So the Lord is gonna, destroy this place completely. That's what we constantly warning you about. A lot of people are still trying to trying to accomplish something here. You're not seeking the Lord, you are seeking death. So I got another video. This lady right here, she was bringing it out about this, what went on in Chicago. I mean, she brought it out, she pinpointed together, you know what I'm saying, that, she was letting them know that they're coming after you. I think I put it in a lesson a couple of days ago. I decided I'll bring it out because it's very spiritual, and it's very edifying. If I can, let me see, can I see if I got it? One moment, I'm gonna bring this one out. This is what happened in Chicago. Let me bring it out one moment. Let me get me out of, here we go right here.
By now you've seen some of the videos coming out of Chicago, South Shore neighborhood, where ICE has descended with the assistance of the FBI, who says they are there at the request of the Attorney General, DOJ, terrorizing and traumatizing black residents in that neighborhood, treating everybody as if they're a criminal, guns in the faces, taking, zip tying their children and putting them in the back of a rental van, and allowing them to come home only after they've proven that they don't have a warrant. Witnesses saying that as they're questioning their humanity among all the trauma, that the ICE officers laugh and say, "Fuck them kids," when they're talking about terrified children. Now, some of us have been recording videos telling you that it was going to start happening to you too. That this wasn't just about the Latinos. It isn't about just immigration. It was never about the criminals and the drug dealers who were coming over here. But it has always been about white supremacy and the fear of dispossession. It's about staying in majority rule under an authoritarian regime with a dictator at the top. They always start with the brown people. And so while y'all continue to do line dances on TikTok and buy wigs and makeup and rims and Jordans for the car and all the frivolous stuff that's not gonna matter, they've been signaling and telegraphing that it's a time for your ass, that they're coming for you. You didn't have the luxury to think that this was just gonna be about the Latino people. You couldn't have been that obtuse. And when it comes to your front door, when it comes to your neighborhood, it's too late. So they don't want you to have the idea that you can resist this, that you can fight back. And individually, you cannot. And off this platform, you need to be having some conversations about what you're going to do and then move in silence. Just a couple of days ago, all of the heads of the military came in and, in so many words, was warned that they were expected to follow legal orders and illegal orders from the president. I don't have a lot of faith that the military will save us. I don't have a lot of faith that the military will follow their oath. Maybe some will, but probably not enough. Because military and the police departments have been infiltrated by racists, white supremacists, since forever, but mostly since 9/11. With Trump as president, it doesn't spell good for anyone with melanin in their skin. It doesn't spell well for poor white folks either, but right now they think they're privileged. They think that this isn't going to be them later, that he would never target them. Enough of that, and back to you. What you going to do? How are you planning and preparing? Better stop playing.
So we see it right now, you better start playing. So she pretty much broke it down pretty good. So we seeing how they came into Chicago, they got these children, a lot of these children, they brought them out naked. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much shamed them. And they said, F those kids. So we coming upon that time, that cruel Lord is constantly working. Also, we know that these heathen nations, you know what I'm saying, that old ancient hatred is coming back. So let's go here to Deuteronomy chapter. Let's get this right here. They shall not regard the young or old. They don't give a damn who you is. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what it is all about. They come in there and grab you out. You could be in a wheelchair, whatever. They don't give a damn. You could be paralyzed. You know what I'm saying? Wait a minute, man, I'm paralyzed. Don't come in here. Hell, they'll unalive you. They don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? Because we know that the devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath. But guess what? He got hell to pay, because he going to wish like hell he would never have put his hand on the children of Israel. You know what I'm saying? We're going to make his ass pay. And the Lord said he going to pay what? Double. You know, ye too shall drink of the cup. We're very close. Let's go here to Deuteronomy chapter 28. Let's get a little bit more about this video. You know what I'm saying? This lady was on point. You know what I'm saying? That, hey, man, you getting ready to realize coming after you, Jay. You YNs, you know what I'm saying? You wicked Eves. You know what's going around him thinking that, you know, everything is a good case. But guess what? This man's coming. He's coming. He's coming. Also, we knowing that also that when you go to Genesis chapter 49, we're going to get that in a minute, that who shall rouse him up. So we know Jacob going to get it popping too. But it's not going to turn out the way Esau think it's going to turn out. Because the Lord is, you know what I'm saying? He got him in the trick bag. Let's go here to Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 50. Let's get this right quick. You know, because this is going exactly, they ain't showing no regard, you know, just grabbing, snatching people up. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't got no warrants on you, we'll let you go and letting these people sit for hours and stuff like that, you know, uncomfortable position. So this is what's coming. It's called J control. Let's get this right here. It said Deuteronomy chapter 28. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 50 said, a nation of a fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. And who the hell is that? It's talking about that fierce nation. It's talking about this, what, the goddamn Esau Edom. You know what I'm saying? The modern day so-called white man. This man is not going to show any type of mercy. And out about since thou hast not shown any mercy, no mercy shall be shown him also. So let's read this once again. It says here, let's read it in the NLT. It said Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 50, a fierce and heartless nation, a fierce and heartless nation that show no respect for the old and no pity for the young. So that's where we at right now. We seeing these children was hollering and crying. They was afraid, snatching them out, you know, and separating them from their family. All these things, that's what we've been constantly telling you about left and right. The beginning of sorrow, great morning. You know, these things are coming upon us. This man don't give a damn. And one thing about it, we already know that, you know what I'm saying, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die. That's what we've been constantly warning you about left and right. Let's go here to second Esdras. Let's go here to second Esdras. Get this one in second Esdras. So we seeing right now that fierce nation. You know what I'm saying? This man is getting ready to come down with great wrath. We seeing right now he's getting ready to use his military, his technology. You know what I'm saying? You know, he's getting ready to use everything at his disposal. And also we know about that war in heaven. This man think he, you know what I'm saying? He's imagining a vain thing, but he's desperate because he knowing that he is running out of time. Let's get this one here. Second Esdras chapter 15, verse 15. Because this is where we at, man. It's, you know, rather civil war, civil unrest. It says him, for the sword and their destruction draws nigh. So, and one people shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hand. So that's where we at right now. We already knowing that this is getting ready to happen. They preparing, you know, this is going to go down just like the Bible said, you know, Jacob and Esau. You know, it's going all the way back to Jacob and Esau, that old ancient hatred. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is going to cause these things to happen. So it's getting ready to, you know, it's coming to the boiling point. We already know that Esau has that blessing, all sorts of weaponry. But we have what? Spiritual power. That's what we're waiting on. That's why the Lord told us to wait on him. And so the Lord is going to deliver us in ways that we do not know how. That's what all we got to do is trust and believe in him. A lot of people are afraid, you know, which in fact, some, you know, the true believer, we would be afraid, but we're gonna be confident that the Lord will deliver us. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about it, hey man, inside the door, great tribulation is upon us. Let's read this. Second Esdras chapter 15 and verse 15 says, for the sword and their destruction draw nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hand. And the modern day sword is what? It's the gun, all sorts of what? Weaponry. We already know about that 50 cal. It could take out a whole neighborhood. It just, you know, just like that. So we already knowing that the Lord is going to have to be on our side, but we already knowing that Jacob is going to get it popping. You know what I'm saying? Which in fact, all the tribes are going to get it popping, the 2/3. You know, so it's getting ready to go down. Verse 16, it said, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and their course of their actions shall stand in their power. So right here, you know, as we seeing a lot of uproars of the people. I think it was on Elder out of New York, Elder Amawan Gabar. I seen that when he was doing it, he was out there in the highways and byways, and I think it was the tribe of Simeon. I think that's what he's saying, that they were protesting you know, about I think it was against this. I can't think what it was about, but they was out there protesting. So uproars of people are everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So right now, when we go into that word sedition, it goes into what protesting, rioting. You know what I'm saying? All sorts of insurrection, civil unrest, civil war. That's where we at right now. It says here, they shall not regard their kings nor princes. So which in fact, you know, what the law enforcement, and they're not going to regard what the government, they're not going to regard what each other, because we're coming upon some very perilous time. It is here, it is at the door. You know, these things are right before our eyes. You know what I'm saying? So let's read this once again. It said, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their acts shall stand in their power. So one thing about it, that's where we at right now. We coming upon a lawless time that we have never seen before. Verse 17 say, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, because of what? These military martial law, these lockdowns, these checkpoints. These things are coming into place left and right. And also, if you don't have the right credential to move around this digital oil under the skin, it's just right here, you will not be able to go into another city. You won't be able to travel the way you want. So they're already putting up a lot of travel bans up as we speak. You know, you got to have a passport. You got to have a digital ID. You don't have these things, you cannot, you know, you can't go to this city, can't go to that city. Pretty much you ain't gonna be able to do anything if you don't have it. They're gonna cut you out of society. You won't be able to go get any food, no type of resources. So a lot of people right now is getting ready to be affected. It's gonna be a global event. A lot of people sitting up there playing games, but all the games about to be over. Verse 18 said, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So we see right what happened in Chicago. You know, that's a blueprint of what's to come. In all these different major cities, they already had these Black Hawk helicopters. You know what I'm saying? They was compelling down on these buildings. You know what I'm saying? Just like something out of a movie scene. You know, just like with that Red Dawn. You know what I'm saying? Different things like that. So they getting prepared. He's getting ready. And out about, but when he put his hand on the Lord's chosen, that's when that's gonna be the turning point right there. The tables are going to turn, and guess what? We win in the end. And so, hey, that's one thing about it. So let's read this once again. It said, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So we seeing right now that these cities going to be troubled. You know, a lot of people going, you know what I'm saying, houses are going to be ransacked. So we already seen what they did. They came in a lot of those houses. They ransacked a lot of these houses. You know what I'm saying? They drug a lot of people out of their houses, and different people are just afraid. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these things are coming. You know, this man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. That's what we constantly warn you about. Verse 19, 2 Amos chapter 15, verse 19 says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. Read that once again. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods, because the lack of bread and great tribulation. So they ain't gonna have no pity, no mercy. But one thing about it, the Lord is going to be with his elect. So one thing about it is that we already know that this man is getting ready to get it popping. He's speaking great words against Yahweh, Ba'ashim al-Shad. Also, we know that that sword is coming. Also, that sword goes into judgment. So the Lord's getting ready to judge this place. First, my judgment will start at the house of Israel. You wicked Negro, you wicked Latinos, you wicked Native Indians. The Lord's coming for you. You know what I'm saying? Also, we already know what happened. You know, they killed the prophets back then. You know what I'm saying? Also, what happened in Yahweh Shad time, you know, when he walked this earth, you know, said, crucify him, give us Barabbas. You know what I'm saying? You getting ready to pay for these crimes right now. The Lord's hadn't forgotten, getting ready to pay. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Put it on our sons and our daughters and all that. That's what the Lord did. He obliged you. Let's read this once again. It says 2 Amos chapter 15, verse 19. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods, because the lack of bread and great tribulation. So that's where we at. This great tribulation period, it has begun. We're seeing right now that, you know, things are constantly picking up. Well, you know, we seeing that war could happen at any given day, at a blink of a hat. You know, these things are happening. That's why the men of the Lord are out here in the highways and byways. We know right now that the famine of the word is fast approaching. We know that they come with that digital oil. We know we're coming upon a great economic collapse. These things are happening right before our eyes. You know, we got to watch, pray, and be sober. These things are here. And also, this place is slowly becoming a third world country. And also, this is going to be a war zone. And also, it will be no inhabitant left here. That's what we constantly warning you about here, left and right. Let's get through here. Isaiah chapter 34. We're going to close out in a minute. Isaiah chapter 34. Let's get this one here. Isaiah chapter 34. Let's see here. Isaiah chapter 34. And we'll start at the top at verse 1. So the Lord's getting ready to bring that indignation going to a righteous anger. So we're very close to these times. See here, Isaiah chapter 34, verse 1 said, Come near, ye nations, and to hear and hearken to ye peoples. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, said the world and all the things that come forth of it. Verse 2 said, For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury is upon all them, upon all their armies. So he has utterly destroyed them. He has delivered them to the slaughter. So that's what's getting ready to happen. The Lord is getting ready to deliver them to the slaughter when the Lord returned on that great fathership. You know what I'm saying? With great glory and great power from the east to the west. The Lord's getting ready to destroy this place. And also his presence is getting ready to be known. You know, so these nations right now, you know what I'm saying, getting ready to F around and find out the indignation of the Lord is upon these what? Wicked heathens. Also these what? These 2/3. Verse 3 said, Their slain also shall be cast out. Said, Their stink shall come up out of their carcass, and the mountains shall be melted with blood, with their blood. Verse 4 said, And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and has a falling fig from the fig tree. So right here, this is describing what? A nuclear explosion. You know what I'm saying? When it says here, it said the heavens shall be rolled together like a scroll. That's describing what? A mushroom cloud. So that's getting ready to happen. You know what I'm saying? You know, things are going to go nuclear at some point. We already know that Israel will be nuked, but it will be rebuilt back up. But when also we know that America will be totally destroyed. There will be no inhabitant left here. So let's read verse 5. It said, Isaiah chapter 34 verse 5 said, For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. So that about it, that's the Lord's sword is going to come down on Idumea. You know what I'm saying? These IBCM missing that lazy and terrified. And Idumea is a Greek way of saying what? Edom. Esau Edom, the modern day so-called white man. So we know that we're here. The war in heaven is going to begin, you know, very soon. You know what I'm saying? Also, we're seeing that right now that, you know, it's all sorts of UFO sites across the world. We're seeing that NASA now is cutting their footage. They're going dark right now because they know what is coming, what is about to happen. The kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness, man. We're so very close, man. These things are here. Let's get verse 6. And so the Lord's getting ready to bring forth that judgment, man, like we have never seen before. You know, great tribulation is coming upon us. That's why the Lord said in Acts chapter, I think it's 14 and 22, that, you know what I'm saying, through much tribulation, ye shall enter the kingdom of heaven. It says here, Isaiah chapter 34 and verse 6 said, The sword of the Lord is filled with the blood, said it is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, and saying with the fat of the kidneys of rams. Said, for the Lord has a sacrifice in Basra. It said, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. And so we already know the modern day Basra is America. Now we know that Basra was a chief city in Edom in ancient times. So we know that we're here, man. These things are at the door. The Lord's getting ready to destroy this place. The Lord's getting ready to bring forth all this death and destruction. And also he's getting ready to set up the kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness. So we're going to get one more and we'll close out. We go here to, let's go to Revelations chapter, let's get it here. Let's see, Revelation chapter 3, Revelation chapter, Revelation chapter 1 and verse 3. It says here, blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. So right now the time is at hand. You know what I'm saying? It's time to repent. It's time to come under that total subjection to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, because right now we are running out of time. It's right here before our eyes. Jacob's trouble is at the door. World War III is at the door. You know what I'm saying? That MOTB, it is at the door. So blessed is he that what? Read it. Let's read this once again. You know what I'm saying? That's talking about the elect, the true believers of Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua. Let's read it once again and we're going to close out. It says here, so Revelation chapter 1 and verse 3 said, blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. So right now we're living in end time, real time. You know what I'm saying? We are here, man. It is at the door. These things are coming upon us at a fast pace. And the men of the Lord, we're constantly warning you left and right. We're seeing that these things are fast approaching. We see the prophecies are constantly lining up just like clockwork. At the end, it shall speak and not lie. Let's get that right quick. Let's go to Habakkuk. Let's go to Habakkuk chapter. You know, man, I'm telling you, man, we're here. A lot of these people doing all this scoffing and mocking, man, and guess what? These things are happening right before our eyes. So, it's going to come a point whereby, they shall seek me early, but they shall not find me, because what? You was that same rebellious house, constantly what? Bucking up against the prophet. You know what I'm saying? And also, we already know a lot of them are back right now. You know, they unalived the prophets back then. So they got hell to pay. Let's read this here. It's at Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 1. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. So one thing about it, we're standing on our watch, we're standing on fire for Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua. Not about we seeing what the prophecy, we seeing what they're saying. We constantly watching. And not about we coming back with prophesying, telling you about these impending dangers. Verse 2 it said, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it, understand it. It says here, verse 3 said, for the vision or the prophecies or the signs of the time is yet for an appointed time. Said, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. So right now we're seeing that these prophecies are not tarrying anymore. They're not prolonging anymore. These things are happening one behind another. One event behind another. And that's making us get closer and closer to what? The kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness. So we know that we're very close. We're very excited. Our salvation is at the door. We know that the devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath. Also, we know that Jacob's trouble, it is here. Watch, pray. You know what I'm saying? Be sober. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, ask the Lord to camp his angels around. Let's get one more, because the Lord is going to be a strong tower in that time of trouble. Let's get this Proverbs chapter 18. We'll close out here. The Lord want me to go here before we close out. Let's go here to Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 10. Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 10, it said, the name of the Lord is a strong tower. Said the righteous runneth into it and is safe. So one thing about it is talking about this wisdom, this knowledge, this understanding that will be a stronghold in times of trouble. The Lord is not on your side, you're going to be unalive. You're not seeking the Lord, you're seeking death. Our salvation is at the door. So I'm going to face the east. I like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushua, Ba'ashim, Rekakwadash. And double honors to those great millstone while lunch is true. And also to the Ophelect that is scattered abroad. Keep pushing, keep believing. We're almost to the finish line. The prophets are speaking loud and clear. We're here. It is at the door. Shalom. Shalom.